trifling and Etruscan, addicts of drugs not yet synthesized, black marketeers of World War III, excisers of telepathic sensitivity, osteopaths of spirit, investigators of infractions denounced by bland paranoid chess players, servers of fragmentary warrants taken down with schizophrenic shorthand, charging unspeakable mutilations of the spirit, officials of unconstituted police states, editors.
We are here with Michael Romanelli for the Free Thinker Society podcast, numero uno. I count in Spanish until about 8, and then I don't know how to count anymore, and then that's the end of it.
That sounds about right. Yeah, so this is number 1 of the Free Thinker Society with Mike Romanelli. I'm Mike Romanelli, and I'll be your host through this journey of free thinking. And what is free thinking?
Mike, what is free thinking?
In my opinion, free thinking is being a skeptic on everything. When something, when a narrative is put put out there through the media or put out there through whatever narrative is pushed, this is my opinion of free thinking. You go all the way to the other side, even if it's something as crazy as stop, drop, and roll. Remember we were in the 80s? They told us that.
When you caught on fire.
Yeah, catch yourself on fire. Put your hand on fire and stop and drop. Make sure. My opinion is on what a free thinker is that you have to question everything. So how I do it, and it doesn't mean it's right because I don't know shit, but how I've been free thinking since I'm a child is if they tell you don't touch the stove, touch it. All right, it's hot. Okay.
They were right.
They were right.
Look at the camera if you want.
But sometimes you touch the stove and you know what? Nothing happens. And that's it, man. I mean, think about all the lies that you're told as a child that later on you're like, wait, what? Tooth fairy, Easter bunny, all that kind of shit, right? And you're like, even sex. Oh, a stork or whatever the fuck, whoever wanted that. And you're like, wait a minute. You stuck your dick into my mom, and that's how I came here? What the fuck?
From a bird?
Yeah. So it's like,
what were you guys doing?
Yeah. And it's like, it fucks you up as a kid. And, WWE, there's so many things you're like, wait a minute. And these guys were friends, but they hate each other. And then you realize like, wow, I've been lied to since I'm a fucking baby. So you start reverse engineering things. And for me, it's like, I listen to everyone. I listen to what I want to hear every story. If you saw Bigfoot, I want to hear everything. If you saw a ghost, I want to hear everything. If you drank, some psychedelic tea in the Amazon and you talk to a relative that passed on, I want to hear about it. But then I listen to everything you have to say, and then I'll do my own research, and I'll go back, and a lot of times, like my boy Sam Tripoli says, what's up is what's down. A lot of times you will find out that whatever you're being fed, it's actually the opposite. And that's where I mean, I've been free thinking my entire life, pretty much as far back as I can remember, which is like a couple years ago.
I think every kid is a free thinker.
Oh, we start out as a free thinker.
Everybody does.
We do, man. I would love it's so inhumane, and I'm sure it's been done somewhere. But I would love to like see a child like that you just like watch. Not that I want to see this because it's a horrible experiment. But if theoretically, if you could do it, I would love to like put a child like away from society and just watch how they grow. Because think about how many animals like they just know what to do, right? I was watching birds. Like, so many weird psychedelic things have happened to me without psychedelics on this quarantine. I watched a bird, a cardinal, and I started researching cardinals because this cardinal's beautiful, so red, so beautiful. And this like pink one, I didn't think it was a cardinal. It turned out it's a female, and I researched it, and I read everything. I trusted science this time. It seems like it was right. That the pink one is the female, and the dark red one is the male. And I learned about if they put the feathers up on the back of their head.
There's no money to be made lying.
Yeah,
to
so
you
there's
on
no
the
reason to
sex
lie,
of that
right?
Bird.
Yeah, it's a bunch of old people that have been feeding birds their whole lives.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, yeah, it was all good. The evidence was good. I tested it. And the pink ones are and they stay together for a long time. I actually read that sometimes they get divorced, but for the most part they stay together.
The birds do?
Yeah, they don't go through the court or anything, but like sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, fuck you," and they go to
That's
another.
good.
But for the most part, they mate forever, which is interesting. And saw these beautiful cardinals. I thought it was multiple, but it's definitely the same one, and then the wife, and then I found the nest. And I've been working in my garden every day because I can't go to work right now. And I heard this like crying out for help, whatever. And then I go look on the side of my house, and there's this little bird, and it didn't fall out of the nest. It was learning how to fly, and it like couldn't figure out how to get back up. And right away I'm like, oh, let me go check this thing out. And I watched it all day. And by the end of the day, this thing was flying, and the mother was like coasting it along. The dad was like on guard watching, and I was like, holy shit. My point is, out the box, pretty much out the box, this thing still, the feathers were still kind of where this thing looked, compared to the parents, this thing was fucking ugly, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not something you share on Instagram if you were the parents of this baby. But
every baby is beautiful.
yeah, this one wasn't too beautiful, but the parents were. But it wasn't that real ugly like pink bird. But the bottom line, what I'm getting at is out of the box, this thing and its parent, like they don't have fucking instruction manuals.
I think and
it was good. It didn't die, dude. It was back in the nest. Like I thought for sure, oh my God, like I had to help it. You know what I mean? And this thing, I was just like, that blows my fucking mind. And that comes to humans. I was saying about like, imagine if maybe we know what to do.
I think
maybe
we do.
We know what to do, and we're fucking conditioned, right?
I think our natural instincts are muted by society and the things that they have you do. Because I know as a little kid, like church, I went and they were like, he died and then he came back, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. What are you talking
saw this
about?
movie.
And they're like,
It's
no,
the
it's
Evil
like
Dead.
magic. And I'm like, what are you? And then something else happened, and I just kept asking them. I remember just being super skeptical. Like, this seems like, I don't know.
I'm so happy you brought this up. I'm so happy you brought
I'm like
this up.
8 at the time or 9.
Dude,
I'm
I
like,
had to
this
go to
doesn't make any sense.
I had to go. Bro, you are bringing me back to second grade or third, whenever you're 8 years old. I'm retarded, so I was probably a lot older than you're supposed to be. But
I don't know.
I remember whenever it was The Simpsons just came out, I was like Raging Against, I was like, wow, Raging Against the Machine. They didn't come out yet, but The Simpsons were out, and like I was watching. I'm too young, and teachers like, but I went to Catholic school, right? And we had religion class, and it was a nun, and I used to challenge her so much. And it's funny, man. I almost forgot that. It's funny how this fucking thing works in your head.
And then eventually you're just like,
bro, no.
Okay.
No, not me.
A lot of kids are,
no,
I guess.
Yeah, no, most are. Not me. I'll never forget. So I grew up I went to this Catholic school. It was not in the town I was from. But most of the people in my class were different races. Even some people weren't Catholic, but they want to get their kids out of where they were, so they would put them in there, right? And at my neighborhood was mostly Jewish. A couple Italian families, but mostly Jewish. And I never forget, we're like a couple months into the school year, and she's talking about how if Jesus is not your Lord and Savior, you're going to hell. Bro, I'm younger than, I don't talk about my kid, but I'm younger than my daughter, and I put my hand up, and I'm holding, back when you hold your hand up, like I'm just like in the front row, and she finally calls on me, and I go, wait a minute.
She knew you were going to be a prick. So
little Johnny is my good friend next door, and he's a Jew. He's my good friend. We play football, we play army, we do all these things together. So you're telling me he's going to hell? And she's like, yes. And I go, wait a minute. Wait. The guy across the street is Indian, and I play football with him. But he definitely doesn't believe in Jesus. He's going to hell? And she goes, yes. And I look at her, I'm like, what the fuck? How are they going to hell? They're good people. They're like, they walk the temple. The guy across the street who's Indian, like, he does all his Indian, Hindu, which I love. I love that. I love that. It's not a religion, but I love that lifestyle. And I was
Hindu's not a religion.
I don't think so.
They're not tax exempt. That's basically. That's basically.
Oh, that's fucking great.
That's true. It's the truth. Like, you're not a real religion. You're not tax exempt. Wait, what? Well, how did the government get directly involved in my religion, in the authenticity of your religion?
That's
directly revolves around what the government does with money.
That's why they're involved in fucking big pharma most of the time. I think you get tax exempt for that shit.
Yeah, probably. They do. That's
not. But
they do. Yo, I worked for a guy that owned this motocross team. This is kind of a long story, and I don't want to hijack your story.
It's okay.
Your show. I'll narrow it down.
Go ahead.
But so I had my own freestyle team at the time. I'm like 24, and my friend was riding for this team in North Carolina. They pay for me to drive down and everything. I meet the owner. I tell him exactly how the freestyle business works, how much I could generate him, all that stuff. He pays like the truck payment and the insurance. He gets the ramp fee. I get my rider fee, and that's how we worked it. Well, at one point we're driving around, and like that was kind of unnecessary to the whole total story.
It's all right. Go with it.
We're driving around. And he goes, he's a pastor or whatever, and he's like, what does being whatever Catholic or religious mean to you, Christian? And I'm like, well, it's being a good person. And he literally is driving in his Mercedes, right? And he whips to me real fast, and he goes, no, that's not what the Bible says. And I'm like, what? And he's like, basically, he just goes, you just gotta say that he's your savior. And I was like, that seems really easy.
Oh, man,
so anyway, the moral of this whole story is he took the money from the team.
Moral of
the story is this guy took the money from the team. They got a bunch of money from a gear company. And his wife got a new car, and his daughter's school got new bleachers, like $30,000 bleachers. And then years later, after it fell apart and I left, and then my friend that was a mechanic there sent me a story, and it was the owner of the team was signing contracts for houses and taking like $50,000 deposits and never starting their houses or anything.
Clint, this is supposed to be This is
not where we were going.
This podcast is not going to go dark, and the things I got to tell myself to stop saying right now.
Okay, sorry. That's the end of my story.
Sucking the gay away, stuff like that. I'm not going to talk about that right now.
We'll get deeper into that later. I wasted that story.
No. It's a great fucking story. Let's save it for Thursday for No Carnival. I love it. It was awesome.
You gave me too many white claws.
That's not true. My point is, I don't even know what my point is anymore. But one thing I want to talk
everybody's a free thinker when we're young.
We all are free thinkers. We're all free thinkers.
Society mutes us.
Listen, I am far, far, far from fucking special. I don't even know. I don't know the answers. I don't. Sometimes my friends will, because I've been right. Like I told most of my friends in March, right before St. Patrick's Day, I told all my friends, I said, by the summer, most major cities, especially New York and LA, are going to be on fire. And they got mad at me. I told everyone.
Why did you say that? What was your thought? Like,
I didn't know anything about George Floyd. I didn't know anything about that.
Did you know about George Soros?
I do know. Dude, we're not trying to go dark here. Motherfucker. I asked Clint to come on to help me.
You didn't say help you keep it light. You said help you keep it flowing.
That's true.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
That is definitely true.
No, we're more spiritual on here.
No, it's not spiritual. I hate that word too. But I want want to talk.
We're about psychedelics. And
I'm trying to
fucking
no, fucking even fuck psychedelics is my point. I love them and my logo represent, but I say fuck everything. Just question it all. That's what this podcast is about. This podcast is going to be about questioning everything. If you
there was one like that. You have to watch that.
There's a bunch of them like that. But this one is, I want no echo chambers. I want this podcast to be like, if you are, I love psychedelics, guys. I love them. But I want to talk. I heard Alex Jones talking about how they were portals into another dimension and it's demonic. And you know what? The last 2 years, I haven't done many psychedelics and I'm on that shit. I just want to learn. I want to learn. Maybe he's right. There's been some messages that have come through that I'm like, maybe he was right.
Were you in a bad place when you did these psychedelics?
No. And we'll talk about that at the end of the podcast. I do want to talk about the Baphomet story. I feel like it was very short. You know, you got fucking powerhouses on Tinfoil Hat. You have Sam and Tommy G, and you know, so we brushed on it, but I know a lot of people want to hear more about that. So we'll talk about that tonight. I think that's something I definitely want to talk about. But my bottom line is, if you feel so strongly about anything other than like your loved ones, but a topic, go the other way. Search the other way, please, because we fall into it, man. I fall into, and I shouldn't say we, but I fall into, as a free thinker, I fall into every trap. Today, the first thing I did when I woke up, guess what I did, guys? I blacked my Instagram out. I did it. I was like, you know what? Like, I don't know where to stand with this thing, and it's very hard for me to look the other way with George Floyd's death. No matter what, I watched the man get snuffed the fuck out for 8 minutes. I don't know who he is. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know who those cops are, and I'm questioning it all. But it's a tough one. You know, I'm still human. I still have been conditioned. We all have been conditioned. Even the enlightened ones, even the ones that are close to enlightenment. I don't know if I know an enlightened one, but I know ones that have been very close. They're human. So you got to question it all, man. And it's tough when you see a guy that gave a $20 fake bill get snuffed the fuck out for 8.5 minutes. It's hard. So today I was like, you know what? I don't know. I've only been posting things about nature and stuff that I love. And I'm like, yeah, maybe that's probably not the right thing. I got to do something. And I don't know what to say. And I feel like the last No Carnival Parking podcast, I might have went a little too hard in the paint, but I was pissed off. And, you just got to question everything. And so I blacked out my Instagram today. By the end of the day, the guys I really trust in this community, the free thinking community, fuck the conspiracy community, the free thinking community, the guys that don't go after each other, the guys that help each other out to get the message out there, the guys that fucking risk their livelihood and get banned on all these fucking platforms, they're all really questioning it. And I was like, you know what? I got to look into it. And I started looking into it. And things are a little weird. I have no clue on this one. I don't know. But I do know bricks are getting shown everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Cops are breaking their own cars. They're leaving things. It's very strange. And I don't know the answers, man. Like, someday I'll get into my 9/11 story. That's what Sam Tripoli was interested in. I told him about my 9/11 story. He brought me on his podcast, and I talked a little bit about it. It's the first time I ever talked about it. We'll talk about that someday. But one thing I will tell all of you guys, once you listen to my story, because I was there. I don't want to say a victim, but I was under the towers and I was covered in dust. I don't know who did what. I know that what everyone saw on TV and everyone told me that happened is not what happened. But I have no fucking clue. I'm not going to tell you it was George Bush. I'm not going to tell you that because I have no fucking clue.
He's not an explosion specialist.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you. That shit's way, like our governor just said the other day, is like, it's above my pay grade. Way fucking above my pay grade. I haven't got tapped in enough. I don't know the who, what, how. I'm not into, like, even exposing that.
But it's fishing.
It's all, bro. Clint, we'll just scratch the surface. That I was covered in dust, and it was like computer chips, and it was dust. And we'll talk about the explosion. That'll be another episode. But the craziest thing is like, come on, man. And then the passport's just, day 2 or 3. Oh, look, every fucking guy's passport's perfect.
And nobody,
Like, come
nobody
on. I was like,
questions
wait,
this at all.
what? And like, I remember telling everybody what I saw, and they're like, oh, you just were a little traumatized. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? You saw it on TV. I was underneath it. I know what I saw.
It doesn't matter.
And listen, I don't shit on the people that say it was a hologram or all those people. I don't shit on them because they're questioning things, but they're wrong.
What was a hologram?
Now, some people say, oh, the buildings didn't even get hit. It was a hologram. Like I saw the second fucking plane go into it, and no, it went in. Now, I can't see quick
I've
enough.
heard that. That's a little bit...
No, but you know what? And like I have friends that were down there and get pissed off at those people. Or no one died, and they get really pissed off at those people. You know what? But they're questioning things.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. You know, I appreciate the hustle, man. That's your thing. Like, you want to question fucking everything.
I agree.
You know, I think the biggest misconception about this dirty word is false flag. And a lot of people that just go right with whatever the mainstream media tells you is like, false flag's a dirty word. It's like Alex Jones. You say that, it's like Alex Jones, like it's a dirty word. But false flag does not mean that nobody died. False flag means there's a lot of dirty words, man. I don't even have to look. There's a lot of things with this whole free thinking that are fucked up. One thing I get mad at my boys. They've been demonizing two things that I get a little bit upset. Occult. Occult is not fucking satanic pedophile. Occult means hidden knowledge. We're all searching for the hidden knowledge. We're all into the occult.
Yeah.
But you say, oh, you're an occultist? You're into the occult? No, man. The occult does not... You're mixing words up.
Yeah, cult and...
No, but the occult. Like,
different.
he's into
That's
the
what
occult.
I'm saying. It's different.
Or I mean, this is way more controversial, but it's true. The swastika.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was around way before the Nazis ever used it.
If you go to some ancient Indian structures in India,
didn't they reverse the direction of it or something?
Yeah, they did, but they still took something.
Right. I'm just saying it's like very subtle. It's basically the same thing.
Like, okay, then you got, like I said, I'm going to get into fucking things that people don't like. But, okay, the New World Order. I'm sure it's not a good thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. But what they'll say is it's bringing everyone together. We have no borders. We're all one. Look at my shirt.
I know. And that one thing is coming up a lot more. There was a commercial on Supercross over the weekend, and they kept having something about one
people, one thing. But it's not. It's a hard thing, man, because if you look at it, why do we have like borders? Why do we have? And listen, I understand it's to keep people safe, but aren't we just humans at this point? Aren't we just fucking humans? Unless there's reptilians walking around, and I'll go that fucking deep. I think you're
asking me a rhetorical question that you don't actually want me to answer.
Listen, I'm just talking to myself at this point. You don't want to answer, but I believe it's like, all right. When I got into, I hate the fucking word spiritual. When I got into
spirituality.
No, not even that. Once again, here's another dirty. We're gonna go right into another dirty word. Once I got into illuminating myself, which is now the Illuminati, which is now Lucifer, the Lord of Light, illumination. It's like, it's all bad. Goes back to my point. My Jewish friends, my Indian friend, my Muslim friend, who I knew were good, pure people, if there is such thing as heaven, they're going. We're all one. And then it goes to like duality, which is good versus evil, and what's good and what's evil, and what is all that. And then another fucking dirty word, another dirty phrase that I had to correct a couple of my friends because they credited Aleister Crowley, and it's not fucking. And I mean, Aleister Crowley, the evidence shows he's a bad person, but though they keep crediting him with that, was as above, so below. As above, so below is not. Aleister Crowley loved that phrase, but every occultist loves that phrase. My teacher, my number one teacher, who I never had taken any psychedelics with, it's all pure, and we tap into whatever we tap into. We call it the Creator because we don't want to offend anyone. When we tap into the Creator, and the Creator, that can't be a dirty word. Whoever created us can't be a dirty word, right? When we tap into that, it's as above, so below. You know what I mean? Like, good vibes only piss me the fuck off. That's a new, like, these fucking kids that are, like, so spiritual. Good vibes only, man. No.
Is that spirituality? Or is
Well, no,
that
they'll say, like,
just
good
fucking-
vibes only, like these yoga people and stuff. Yeah, you want to be good. You want to do nice things for everyone. But if you want to be a good person, you got to work on your shadow side. As above, so below. We all got a dark side on us. I don't give a fuck who you are. Joel Osteen, his dark side is probably so bad. I don't want. I mean, the guy wouldn't fucking put people in
Exactly.
the fucking hurricane. He's like, get the fuck out of here. You don't have your fucking.
Yeah.
You don't have the fucking.
You're not coming in my mega church.
Wait, you're not gonna pay. You're not paying the vig. Get the fuck out of here. But listen, and I'm sure that guy's done a lot of good for some people, and I'm not picking on him. But it's not all about the fake smile. It's not all about the happiness. If you don't work on the shadow side, and shadow is bad, that's not good. Evil shadow. But you got to work on the shadow side and clean that mess up, as above, so below, to clean yourself up, and that's how you become. That's how you change the world.
That's an interesting. I've never heard it explained that way. But you're absolutely right. You know, people put on a good facade out in front of people.
Those are the ones you got to worry about the most.
And then
man.
when they're home, you know what I mean? Or what's really going on underneath is, you know, we see it all the time with brilliant fucking comedians and actors.
Clean
and,
ones?
Yeah, well.
Most of the brilliant clean ones.
Well, Farley, what's his name? Kennison. Well, she died.
Well, they were not
after.
clean, but
No, but I'm
let's
saying.
just bring out the big. The bull.
What's his name? Belushi.
Cosby.
Sure, Cosby. That's
Cosby's
a good
that
one.
guy you got to
That's a
talk
good
about.
one. Yeah.
Clean as can be. Clean as a whistle.
Yeah, that's true. But what other clean comics were super?
Listen.
I
That's the
feel
only
like
one that's not
that's-
alleged. I've heard of a bunch others that I can't say.
Oh,
it's
yeah?
alleged.
Oh, okay.
But like, this is not my thought. This is Sam's thought that the clean. I forget. I'm butchering what he says, but it's like not clean. Not all clean comics are assholes, but all assholes are clean. It's something like that, or something crazy. And it's like, you know, it's. I don't know, man. You gotta clean up your side of the road, and I don't know. For my opinion, I've worked in all kinds of artists, comedian. Now it's all comedians. Before this was the music industry. The darkest ones, the ones that had the darkest music, had the darkest content, were the nicest people in the world. The ones that said the most fucked up shit in the studio or on the stage were the nicest. I would try, like, come to my daughter's first birthday party. You're the best. The ones that were hiding something, those are the guys that's like, I don't know, man. There might be a
Yeah.
person in the trunk. Like, I don't know. But once again, that's just another free thought to have. I mean, question everything.
I think that a lot of the issue is that when you say something that doesn't automatically, I guess it's closed-mindedness, really. You say something that they automatically don't jive with, then you're a conspiratist, you know, or whatever. They just want to label you to dismiss you so that it's just like, no, you're wrong because of this. And I'm like, listen, as you said earlier, you know, I don't know, but let's take this into consideration, you know.
Yeah. This is, once again, this is me speaking, Mike Romanelli speaking. I don't know shit, but what I do know, like, we go back to the out the box as a human. You don't have instructions. You don't know. What do you know? But I do know that when I follow my gut and my heart, I've been right. And when I don't is when fucking problems happen. And there's something to that. You know, we're finding out that your gut has memory, and it's like, wow, why do we say follow our gut? Follow our heart. We have an electromagnetic frequency from our heart. You know, there's a lot of things that we're like learning now that we're finding out about ourselves. That's like, wow, what the fuck? Like, it brings me to my point. Like, what if we are AI, or what if we are demigods, or what if we are something way bigger than we think? But whoever is the ruling class of this world knows that, and feeds us the bad news, feeds us all this stuff. And it kind of makes me think about like ancient societies and how they were so, like, we can't recreate the pyramids right now, and then we can't recreate the Sphinx, we can't recreate Göbekli Tepe, we can't recreate any of them, and they don't even know when. Like they were way ahead, way like before. Like I've heard some kind of statistic that like Cleopatra is closer to us than she was at the building of the pyramids.
Yeah, closer to the iPhone than the
right. So like I feel like there's so much that we don't know about ourselves. And
but the issue is that a lot of people claim to know. Like even history,
Yeah.
I love it when they go, "This is what happened."
oh
How the fuck do you know?
no, and then it gets to the whole point of like, okay, so now you start playing with your not playing with yourself that way. That's after the show when the cameras come on. But no, you play with yourself, right? And like there's things like I hate the fucking another fucking stupid term, biohacking, right? So like fasting.
Yeah.
When we were a kid, that's called anorexia. And then before that, I think in the 60s when yoga first came out, they were fasting. But like when in the 80s and stuff, like if you fasted, like there's something wrong with you, man.
Yeah, but certain cultures have always done it.
I'm talking about here in the United States. But
Yeah.
But you're before internet, right? When you only have that echo chamber of what's going on where we are from. You're right. But like I know for me, fasting got me off of blood pressure medicine, all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
You know, I was a lot bigger. And then I started fasting. Intermittent fasting. First, I started to do, of course, because I have to do everything
To the extreme.
Yeah. So first,
So
I think
you did
I
what,
like
a
did-
whole day?
No.
2
dude, I did
days?
the master cleanse. I did like 30 days.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. And then that's how fucking extreme I am and crazy. This is not. I'm gonna tell you guys this. So no one ever does. I did the master cleanse for full 30.
Shit your brains out.
No. So yeah. Of course. And I did it with a guy who was back then I was waiting tables. I was waiting tables and managing a nightclub at night. So it was so hard. I remember. So I was doing it with my partner waiter. We did it together. He shit his pants one day, right? In the fucking, like day 7, he shit himself. He was taking an order.
At the
He
restaurant?
was taking an
Oh
order
my
at
God.
the restaurant we were working at, and he just. This is like 2004. We did the master cleanse. We had the cayenne pepper and the lemon, and that's all we drank for like fucking and maple syrup grade A, which was so hard to find back then.
How heavy were you?
No, back then I was skinny. These are the face drug days. So I was skinny then.
So
This
then
is
how the
before.
fuck did you survive that long on that? I
So-
figured if you were heavy and then you were trying to like
Yeah, you're
lose weight
right.
or whatever,
No,
then
man.
you'd be fine.
The thing is, like I said, when I do something, I go all in. I heard about like people that do this once a year. They live to 120, and it resets all your cells. And I wasn't like I looked. My shell was healthy back then. I was like, I was my prime. I was like 23 or 24 years old, and I looked healthy on the outside, but inside I was probably terrible. And so I didn't like prepare for it. Like I think I might have talked to everyone about like in other podcasts about ayahuasca. You have to really prepare before you go, or you get if you think you're fucking cute and you just go straight in, you're fucked. I didn't prepare. I just said, okay, we're gonna do this. Buddy, we're gonna do it. So I did it, and then like I'll never forget like week 2. I remember going to a Whole Foods to have to buy some shit for the restaurant, and like the apples were glowing.
I was gonna say everything.
Things were
smells so
glowing.
good.
Yeah, things were smelling. And as a waiter too, I mean, things were smelling so good. So now we're at day 30, I want to say. And this is like when I first got into the UFC promotions. So I was running this nightclub. And this is like when people they were kind of getting into the UFC, but at a certain time, I stopped the music, I dropped the fucking curtain, and I would show the UFC. And it was Frank Mir versus Brock Lesnar. So all these just juiced up WWE guys are coming, and the pace is packed. I'm like, my boss is like, bro, you this is the right idea. You did it, man. Oh my God. People back then, people were buying bottles of Ketel One for like 100. Like, I was crushing sales. I was gonna get a bonus. This was amazing. And my 2 of my boys that were doing it together, like, this is great, man. They got off their shift. Like, let's eat some wings. We're done. We did 30.
And then you ate a bunch of wings. And
dude, the
it was
place
a mess.
the place holds 100. There's like 250 in the place. That's probably an exaggeration, but there's a lot more people in this fucking place that should not be there. We're selling bottles. I'm having a record-breaking night, but it's like, let's sell. I can't drink because I do know if I drink, I'm gonna be fucked. My one friend did have one drink. He was so fucked up from a fucking vodka club. He was so fucked up. But I ate the wings. I ate wings, and I think I want to. I don't know, a mozzarella stick or something like that. All I know is it's time to pay the DJs. I was locked in this. We had this, bro. It was just coming out of me, man. I was like, what the fuck? And then I researched after the fact that that's like the worst thing you did. Like all those 30 days, you just fucked your body up so bad. And you got to break it. You got to do a soup and all that stuff. But it comes back as way too much information, which I will do from time to time. The point is...
Don't worry, I have that in show notes. Blackout, occult, master cleanse.
Yeah, so the master cleanse is good. It's amazing when you do it right. But when you come off of it, you got to do it slow. And you can feel like a superhuman. If you do it the right way, you can almost go 2 months. If you're in shape, bro, I'm telling you, I've pushed the limits. I don't think I could do 2 months. You probably can.
No.
But bro,
I like to eat.
and that, you know what's funny though? You don't even need that. I think the new studies, new studies show like 48 hours, you get all the benefits. All the extra shit's kind of like flexing nuts.
48 hours.
And that's another fucking thing that I learned with ayahuasca is that the real shamans, they could just smell the cup or take a little sip and they get as fucking high as you. That ego shit, man. What's up is what down. It's what it is, man. It's not what it all seems. Like once you get to a certain place, you don't even need as much. Which Americans, I'll just say that right now, I'll just generalize this. Yeah. We think more.
For sure.
You know, when I went to Amsterdam, we were filthy Americans because we brought Dutch masters and we just stuffed the best shit in the world into a thing. And we'd smoke it at the coffee shop and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're not Cypress Hill. They'd take a gram and put it into the tobacco and smoke it. No, we just fucking brought our own Dutch, just cut it up, boom, put it all in, throw some isolator hash in there. What else you got?
Yeah.
What you got? So let's throw it in. And like, what the? But you know what? That's not always. It's overkill.
America, bitch.
Yeah. Which is not bad. There's a time and place. Listen, on 4th of July, I want to eat a fucking half a pig. I want to cook a pig, eat half of it, and fucking shoot fireworks.
I almost passed out in a bar in Amsterdam because we were in Abu Dhabi for a week. So there's nothing. And then I'm just in one of those
Heineken Zero.
coffee houses.
You want a beer? Here's Heineken
Dude.
Zero.
Well, they have beer and shit. But, like, I guess they had it at restaurants and stuff. When I was in Oman, it was only at the hotels because the citizens weren't supposed to be drinking.
Yeah.
But, so there was no weed or anything there. And then on the way back, I had a layover. I asked for an extra long layover in Amsterdam. And went to a coffee house and just standing in there trying to order my joint, dude, I almost fucking fell over. And it's half tobacco too, and you're just like straight tobacco, not filtered. They're just fucking.
Yeah, I think it's actually once again, it's a hack. It's a hack. We're talking about hacks, right? I hate that fucking word about hack.
I like a little tobacco in there too, but they get a little crazy sometimes. Other countries.
Well, so some of the countries can't get it, so they only use hash, and they put the hash in with the tobacco, so it's a little different. But
I've done that too in other places, but still they get crazy with the tobacco. I'm saying.
What do you mean?
They end up putting a bunch of tobacco, and next thing you know, you're doing these little bong rips and just about passing out because it's so much fucking. Not chewing tobacco, like.
Instead of just tobacco.
Yeah, like they're 70-30s or something, 60-40s.
Well, that's another thing. Our tobacco is so much different. Our tobacco in here is chemicals.
Yeah,
when you get straight tobacco in other countries, it's that's why you got these fucking elders that are fucking smoking it, sniffing it, doing everything with tobacco, and they're like 100.
That's true.
They look better than fucking.
That's true. They're like they're 40. A smoker, yeah, because
like they don't eat KFC and they just do this.
Well,
shit.
No, because it's regular tobacco, like you said, it doesn't have all the shit in it. That's my issue with weed being grown by like JR Tobacco.
Yeah.
Right? Because now they're going to spray all this pesticides and everything else on it, and now you got shit-ass weed. Like, I'm still going to try and find the dude down the street to get the homegrown.
Well, if you got a homegrown guy, that's amazing. But, dude, that's why I can't smoke weed anymore. I can't do it. On the reg.
Don't ruin this for me.
No, because I got sick. I get sick from weed. And it's my favorite thing in the world. I get sick and they say it's like a whatever syndrome they say it is bullshit. It's the pesticides. If I get it from someone that is like growing it legit right, which doesn't happen often because I live in New Jersey where you still do fucking hard time for weed, everyone. You still do hard time for weed. No people doing hard time for weed.
Hard time.
But so hold on, let's go back to my point of this like we're like this AI computer system. And when I say AI, I'm not saying we're in a simulation. because I love that theory, but I still question it.
Why would you think that we're AI? Here's our thing. We have no wires or anything.
Oh, dude.
We are fucking. Yeah, I mean, we have external things that we're using here, obviously, but.
Well, why does AI have to be what you think AI is?
Because I'm right.
Yeah, but
Duh.
what if AI like? All right, the show Westworld. I feel like they always show us the.
I haven't seen it.
All right, that show is like I was like I had almost like I finished it, but I'm going to turn it off because I'm like, this is like part 2 of the Matrix. They're just showing you what it's all about. But when I say AI,
What do you mean? You think the Matrix was telling us what was really up?
I think the Matrix was a documentary. That's not my quote. I think Keanu Reeves said that. But yes, yeah. So I think like there's like
what, a second dimension? I wasn't super into that either. I think I did see it, but is that supposed to be some people dodge bullets? What is going on?
No. Meaning in the fact that like we're plugged into a matrix and it's all ones and zeros, and there's people that know how to hack the matrix. There's people that are just kind of living in the matrix, have no fucking idea, and there's ones that do, and the ones that do. You know, you and I have talked about this, and maybe the terms are a little odd, but it's like I've been getting into like these gematria people, and they're people who are like into numbers and all that stuff, and I feel like they're like the I don't want to say hackers, but like they're the ones that like they read the code of what we're in, and they're like, oh, okay, and then you and I. I've talked a lot about the universe and putting it out there, and that's like entry level. That's like when like you could beat Zelda in a day or a week, but then you got a fucking hacker that could do it in like a day because he knows some code and he understands the math. I feel like you and I are just I'm sorry, Clint, I don't want to say anything bad, but I feel like you and I are just fucking dummies that kind of get it.
Yeah, we are.
We're
just
also fully Italian, so we're like apes.
We're just
like,
apes sitting here going, something not right. We don't know. That's it.
I want to do a podcast. I want to be a comedian. I want to jump over a big fucking...
Yeah, we're just like, something's not right with society. That's as far as
I want to do this. And then like I don't care if someone says I can't do it. And then you do it.
Yeah, that's it.
But,
that's me pretty much in a nutshell.
That's me too. That's hashtag me too. I mean,
he too.
He too. I like that. So, you know, what going back to what I was saying about AI. Maybe AI is not the best word for it, but I just really feel like
that's artificial intelligence.
Yeah, well, what's artificial, man? Maybe something. Maybe our creator. I don't know what that is. But maybe our creator was an alien and took an alien and a chimp. Now we're artificial, man. You know, maybe they did
enhanced,
something.
Bro.
So artificial, enhanced, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like, regardless, I feel like there's some, and it's a very small percentage. Know what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you came out of the box. Like, imagine you had the fucking instruction manual this big. You go to PDF,
I think that
it's like,
do.
Oh my, where? We're learning. We're getting kind of getting it now. Kind of.
It's just muted. And think about if the Earth ran on all the magnetic lines and all that stuff.
Yes.
Okay, and now we've set our towns or cities up.
Okay, so why are all the pyramids on those ley lines? We're talking about ley lines now. And
yeah, I know.
Only important fucking things that are on those lines.
Our pyramids.
I'm 90% sure.
There's a bunch of cities.
Washington D.C. There's certain places that are on.
It's the worst place.
Yeah, I know, but they understand. That's what I'm saying. There's a very small percentage that understand.
And the ley lines have changed, right? Because there's old, or the.
Well, that's where it gets like back into like, you know, I don't know. Yeah.
Far enough back where like we don't really know either. But supposedly the ley lines were different. So there's a bunch of old civilizations that are on different. That are like they don't line up, and then they figured something out that actually the ley lines were different at that time.
Yeah. So like
poles shifted or whatever.
Yeah, which I've heard.
But here's the thing again. Okay, say it shifts. Why does that make a difference? Like, listen, the computer's going from 1999 to 2000 was supposed to fuck them up. So why would the poles?
Yeah, Y2K. But here's the thing, man. 2012 freaked me out.
Yeah,
and I know I've talked about that, but.
Well, you're not on this podcast.
Because not on this one.
This is the first one.
Yeah, true. But what you're speaking about is I've heard some of these gematria guys saying, no, you thought 2012 was no, you fucked up the numbers. This is 2012. This is the end right now in 2020, which I don't know anybody with a sane mind would say, yeah, that we fucked up the calculations.
Google it.
I don't know how to do that right now. But I've heard
type it into the search.
I've heard a few people say that, and it makes sense. It makes sense, and I do even believe.
You know, with leap years and shit like that, you could for sure be off fucking.
How do we know? Like you said, ley lines.
10
they could have moved a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all. It all comes together. Like, what the fuck is time? What it really is time?
Yeah.
We don't. I mean, it's something we put into a construct. But what the fuck really is time? I mean, I know that since we've been on lockdown, time is way different than when I went to work every day.
I like the not going to work time.
Yeah, I like that time too. But it's kind of it's fast and it's slow. But back to just being a human, right? So here's another. We talked about fasting. What about sun gazing? You know about sun gazing?
Well, you said that you're supposed to. I mean, I don't believe that the only way to stop people from getting sunburn and cancer is a slew of chemicals that you slather all over yourself.
Yeah, it's like the next
Try
level.
to read any fucking ingredient.
Or what about this fucking disease that we're going through right now?
Dude.
I once again, fucking statistics up. So I wish we had a guy fact checking, but I think it's like 80 or 90% were deficient in vitamin D.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive.
And over the age that people normally die.
Well, that's the next episode, but yes.
You know, and I get it because it sucks, but everybody gathers that people die eventually, right? Or no? Does that?
I mean, you need to, right?
I would think so.
We also got to look at death a little bit different than we do in this country or this world.
Can't happen. We need to stop it all. Listen, I'd probably be I'd at least have one leg, or probably dead. You know what I mean? 100 years ago.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Oh my God, I would not be here.
For sure,
I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I could just straight up tell you that. I don't think I'd make.
There's all these fucking people,
some of the
including
fights and shit
myself,
I've been into, I'd be gone.
including myself, where I should have fucking died.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. 23 is like It's like 80.
And we figured out how to save like almost everybody.
Bro, I couldn't see. My eyes are so bad at age 8. I think about that all the time. Like, what if they didn't have contacts? I'm blind. Everyone looks like just a blurb. I think about that all the time. Or when I fucked my knee up.
Too
like
bad to get
17
LASIK?
times. No, I could get LASIK. But we needed studio lights.
Sure. I doubt that they're comparable. Price-wise.
Nowadays, man. You can fucking get someone to do it in the back fucking by the dumpster.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. There's a couple things you don't skimp on.
But sun gazing. So sun gazing is a practice, ancient practice, of staring into the sun. And by staring into the sun, you do it. I'm not telling people to do it, but you do it on certain times of the day. Research it. Google and shit really has censored it. But back about 10 years ago when I got into it, you could find it anywhere. And a lot of people who were sun gazing weren't eating. And all these people were like, it kind of went hand in hand with fasting. But basically, it's like you get into a meditative practice right when the sun's about to come up. You stare at it a certain way, and you work your way up until I got up to a minute where I could stare at the sun for a minute, and nothing would happen. Like it wouldn't hurt me or anything. And I just do increments by increments. Bottom line is, I have a full family right now. To wake up exactly at that time, to stand down my underwear, facing the sun, praying. My wife gets a little upset about that nowadays. So back then, I didn't give a fuck, and I would do it. But, bro, what it does is supposedly decalcifies your pineal gland. Mm-hmm. It really opens it up, which
is the shape of what fruit or nut or something?
Pine cone.
But there's a nut, isn't there, that's shaped similar that's supposed to help you with it?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know about that.
No, what about the people that sun their buttholes?
That's a new one, man. Hey, listen. Maybe they're right. I don't fucking know, man. Maybe that's like literally, bro. Imagine like the fucking instruction
kills
booklet.
the E. coli.
Imagine the instruction booklet came out next week, and it's like
all of your eyes.
Rule number 1: bend over, open your asshole, and sit outside.
Yeah.
For fucking 30 minutes with the sun just blasting your asshole.
You need to do
You wake
both,
up and you're
though,
fucking.
I think.
You're smart as fucking Bill Gates.
I think you need to do it
You
on
start
your
shooting
back.
people with fucking vaccines. You wake up and you're just like, I want to fucking vaccinate everyone.
I think you need to be when the sun comes up on your back with your butthole spread so you can stare at the sun with all three of your eyes.
Clint, this is not this kind of podcast. I want to go so deep on the butthole tanning.
It's the opposite of asshole bleaching.
Yeah.
What is going on here with all the ass?
Damn it. There was a point to
I
this.
sucked you out of it.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, you could be right. Hey, you're free thinking, man.
I'm free
You're fucking
thinking. Who
free
the
thinking.
fuck knows?
You are free thinking. Listen, the Kardashians look beautiful.
They
Maybe
sun their buttholes
definitely
all the
sun
time.
those
That's why they fucking bleach them.
I mean, they look.
Because they're so tan.
I mean, Chloe looks like fucking Kim.
Yo, they're bleaching their buttholes so that it's lighter and it'll let more vitamin D in.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard crazy shit even about taking. I've heard crazy shit about even like. There's ways to take bleach that it's not bleach. I shouldn't say that. That's so bad. Edit that out. There's certain things.
Way to take not bleach.
You don't take bleach. It's not bleach, and it's not what the president fucking said. That's not what I'm saying. But there's something similar that apparently it's called MMS, and that's definitely going to flagged. And we're not going to talk about that today because I want to get past episode 1.
Dude, my dad in the army, they had like iodine tablets or something to put in the water to kill anything, and then they drank it. Like sick.
Yeah. Exactly. There's things like people that eat all meat diet, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's credit. I mean, and obviously Joe Rogan's got the voice, so everyone's crediting him, and with the carnivore. But before that, in the 60s was Owsley
Jack LaLanne.
Owsley Stanley, and he was a big proponent of LSD and the Grateful Dead. But which was funny because he was in charge, kind of, or was a manager of this hippie movement that were all vegetarians, and you only ate fucking meat around him. And this guy he died in a car accident, but he lived a long life and took more acid than any of us could even fucking imagine. And he was healthy as fuck. And
Did
was
he
like,
think he was a glass of orange juice?
No. He fucking pushed that pussy out the window. He's the guy who's saying, "Yo,
Dude.
bitch."
If he spills all of his orange juice, he'll die.
Yeah, he told that fucking pussy to get.
Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, of course. Or you
What
think
a
you're
stupid
You think you're
fucking-
Superman?
What a stupid fucking...
You think you're Superman?
And jump
I
out a
could
window
fly.
or something?
Dude, these guys I'm talking about, they took so much more than we ever took.
I did acid once,
And they're
so...
good. Oh.
Allegedly. Oh, it's the wrong one.
But there we go.
Only once.
But
And I told you, I watched the acid movie, which half an hour in turned out to just have Cameron Diaz in it. It was just a normal movie.
Oh, yeah. You watched the one where she got cum in her hair?
I don't even have.
not this
I
podcast,
literally
Clint.
have no idea what the fuck
guys, I'm
movie
sorry.
we
Anyone's
watched.
into meditation and fasting, coming in the hair is not part of this podcast.
Unless you got a really good yoga
Hey.
instructor.
Hey, what's up is what's down. You never know. Cum in the hair might
What's
be the
his
fountain
name?
of youth.
What's the guy?
Oh, the Bikram guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that dude.
Exactly.
That fucking guy. You know what's funny is that guy gets fucking lumped into Osho. And Osho is like, I kind of feel bad for him.
For Osho?
Yeah. Because Osho is like, he said...
Doesn't get to have sex at all.
No, Osho was fucking everyone.
Then they're the
Listen,
fucking
I'm not
same.
saying he was
Then
definitely...
it's the
No,
same
the other
thing.
guy would be like, one drip of my cum is worth... Like, he was crazy.
I know.
He was nuts. He was literally like, float around in the 80s. Like, float around on a air conditioning unit. Like, I don't even know. How did I get this fucking technology back then? My fucking house can't get
Floated
cold.
on an air
It looked like he was like
conditioning
floating with like air conditioning on him while every white person's in a fucking horrible position.
This is
in
Osho?
fucking 100. Yeah, no. This is the Bikram guy.
Bikram?
And that guy was just like, and he was like, "You bitch, get the fuck up, you bitch." And I'm like, whoa. Now Osho was like, he would say like really profound things. You'd be like, wow. And then he had that fucking lady running around fucking buying Uzis and fucking, you know what? I mean, taking
Okay.
over towns. She kind of fucked it up for him, but he was kind of the other guy had like the biggest collection of Rolls Royces. Like,
But this is where we kind of glazed over it earlier. We talked about why society is the way society is. I really need to find this thing, but like a college student or whatever the fuck it was called back in like Roman times literally did a study on every civilization and how they start out with they fight for their independence. They start out with great freedom.
yep.
Capitalism, blah blah blah, and showed the timeline, and it was even like we are here, and it was like fucking exactly.
Oh, yeah.
What was happening?
I don't know shit, but I believe that's
So I
probably
think
true.
that it's human nature. You know, like every society starts out no borders, everybody's cool, and you're like, hey, you know, you just walk past each other in the field or whatever, maybe. Then eventually somebody decides we're going to stay here and we're going to grow all this food or animals or whatever, and the village next door is like, we need food and animals, so they just go and take them.
or the guys that are growing the crops get a bad fucking locust or something kills all their crops, but the next door neighbor's got everything,
Exactly.
and his women have hotter titties.
And then they go in, they're like, yo, we're going to
Or
take
the dude's
that.
got a bigger dick. I'm not trying to. Honestly, I don't even think. I do think some of the best. I know this is so controversial.
They just went in with their pants down. They were
No,
like,
I do. I truly believe the really, really advanced civilizations were not run by men. And I'm not saying this. I
Probably.
don't need to get laid, man. I know people say, "Oh, if you say that, you're trying to get fucking laid," and a lot of my good friends say that. But I do believe female energy will take you to a higher place if they run. Like we're the fucking idiots. We're the ones that are supposed to do stuff, but we run everything, and that's just my opinion. It's my opinion, and it's been downloaded to me very,
fucking
very hard.
asshole.
No, I don't give a fuck. I don't need to get laid. Like, I'm not saying this to get laid. I don't. That's not. But
I'm
going to
use this later, though.
You can
To
do that shit on Twitter tonight after a city burns, and you're like, you know what? Like, you know, hashtag it with a couple other things for the riots, and you'll be good, man. You get some fucking Antifa pussy tonight.
That sounds. Gonna
Terrible.
have to hate fuck it.
That sounds terrible. It sounds like a lady that got fucking blasted in the face at Target, bro. God
Dude.
fucking help me. Did you see that?
No, what'd you get hit in the face?
No, you
with?
didn't see that.
No.
I didn't want to buy you this weekend.
There was why?
Because you were riding, you know, with famous people. But there was this
Semi-famous.
no, so there
Famous in those circles.
when the shit popped off, right, in Minneapolis, there was a woman in a jazzy, I think I said it to you. A woman in a jazzy like they try to play it off like a fucking wheelchair, but it was jazzy. It's like we're fat people, they can't
Yeah.
walk, right?
Yeah.
And she's knifing people that are trying to loot Target. And she's like, like who loves Target that much? Listen, if it's
She was a manager.
yeah, I mean, this bit, like I'm sorry, but if it's a family-owned business, like who the fuck's defending Target that much? And she's like, I'm like, yo, she's knifing us, and the fucking
That's
looters,
awesome.
the looters blasted her in the face with a fucking fire hydrant, a fire extinguisher, bang, bro. I dropped my phone.
Like sprayed
Oh,
it
blasted
or
her where
hit
she
her
almost
with-
came off the fucking wheelchair.
hit her
Jazzy.
with the
bro, like
fucking-
this, bang,
Oh.
and she's like, and she's like falling down. But meanwhile, she's trying to stab people. They're trying to get some fucking Nikes.
She needed a faster fucking cart.
Bro, they hit her so hard. But
Have you ever
fucked up part about me is I couldn't stop laughing where I dropped my phone.
had somebody spray one of those fucking things in a room?
Yes.
Yeah, they're not pleasant.
No, she got her wig pushed back.
They're
with a
not pleasant.
She got her wig pushed back with a fire extinguisher. But check it out.
That's another good story.
What's up is what's down, right? So I'm laughing. People are like, that's terrible. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Why are you defending Target?
Yeah.
Like, why? And
Just
why
get
you're
out
in a
of there.
jazzy?
One lady
Like, just shut the fuck
can't
up.
even run.
Like, just go. But then, what do you see? A couple like days or a day later,
A whole army of jazzies.
no, she's laughing. She's standing up. She's walking. She's brushing it off with the people she was stabbing. Yeah, that's real life. I will send you all those videos because I have it because once again my fucking Puritan people are like, because I sent it to everyone. I sent it to my mother. I sent it to everyone. How funny is this? They're like, what is wrong with you? Like, because I just knew my bullshit meter went off. Like, I was like, this is hilarious. Like, first of all, why are you stabbing people?
Yeah.
Like, what? Why do you care?
Hey, well, you already talked about the bricks being set out everywhere and shit.
No,
like
I never
that.
talked about it online. I talked about it to you.
Oh, I thought we talked about it on here a little bit.
Did
I
we?
think you mentioned it a little bit. You just glazed over it. But that shit, like, what the fuck? Who the fuck? How did nobody notice somebody drove in there and dropped a fucking pallet off?
Bro, I tried to build a fire pit in my house when the pandemic started.
There was no
almost,
bricks.
It was almost impossible to get pavers. There's fucking beautiful pallets of pavers everywhere. I couldn't get fucking 10 to build a fucking fire pit. But it's like, oh, we're just going to drop one off right here. Like, I don't know. I want to go there and fucking pick them up and build a fire pit. But I mean,
That would be sick to just go around and pick up all these papers.
It's like, oh shit.
Brick.
It's like, at 10th and 11th, we got a fucking pallet of bricks. We just
Yeah.
fucking show up in a fucking truck.
Yeah,
Put them in.
exactly.
We got
Just
this-
one of those the hand
That's a
forklifts.
Yeah,
And then just in a truck with a lift
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah,
Be
I
like,
love that.
"Zzz." We'll be like, thank you, George Soros, for all the bricks.
We built fire pits at everyone's house. Thank
We
you.
should build a whole house out of fucking
Dude, this sucks.
out of
because
looting bricks.
It sucks.
These
that-
are special looting bricks.
Yeah. Well, what about one said Acme? My friend has some controversial podcast, and he posted it at Acme. I go, what the fuck is this? Wile E. Coyote?
Exactly.
Who ordered these? Wile E. Coyote?
Exactly.
Like, it literally, bro, look it up. It says Acme Brick. I'm like, come on, man. What are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Literally, Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. George Soros is Wile E. Coyote, and fucking Trump is
I'm out.
the Roadrunner. Hold on, I got you.
That could be it. Or do you think Trump's Wile E. Coyote?
I don't know. Listen, the first thing I said is I don't know shit.
I agree. I say that all the time. And I've actually gotten in a bunch of arguments with people online for posting stuff and just being like these fact checkers and all that bullshit. I'm like, you guys have no idea what you're talking about. Yes, I do. I did research for myself. And I'm like, where the fuck did you research? And then they're like arguing with me that, on this whole thing, that basically the government is 100% right. And I'm like, yo, they weaponize shit all the time, information and everything else. Why would we not think that? Like, the same people would say that there are certain minority groups that are marginalized and kept down by the government. Those same exact people would then go, no, there's no fudging of any numbers for COVID to take advantage of us.
Exactly. And that comes back to my point. I don't even come to my point, but my point in general with people all the time is about the whole right and left and Trump and this and that. To me, man, it's all the same fucking thing. There's certain things Trump does that I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. But then there's other things like he just fucking passed something, or not that he passed it, but he allowed it to be passed that the FBI could search your fucking browser history without a warrant.
Yeah.
And people say, I have nothing to fucking fear. It doesn't matter what you have to fear. Maybe you want to jerk off to
do.
fucking
It's a
people. Maybe you
slippery
want to jerk
slope.
off to feet. Maybe you want to jerk off to feet.
Yeah.
And you don't want your wife to know about that. I don't want to jerk off the feet. But I'm just saying, if you
Yeah.
did,
I matched with
I'm just trying to keep it
somebody
as
on-
light as possible, right?
I matched with somebody on
Maybe you wanna
Tinder once that
sun-
was trying
maybe
to
you want
sell
to sun your
feet
asshole
pictures.
because you think your third eye is going to open up. Maybe that's what you want to do. And you have enough property where you could sun your butthole in the morning instead of sun gazing the right way, which I wanted to get to. But, and then
You could do a whole show on sun gazing.
we can, and we're going to get an
Get
expert
a
on
sun
it.
exactly.
Oh, no, dude. There's a dude that doesn't even eat. Yeah, we're going to get one. But another thing. How about this, Clint? If you go into cold water, does that bother you? This guy's fucking broke his neck 17 times.
I could deal with it if I needed to, but
it feels wrong in your brain.
I don't like to be that cold.
Yeah, your brain feels wrong, right? But I got into Wim Hof years ago, and that's putting yourself into
Cold water all the time.
and I became like a superhero. The fucked up part is my mind. I can't do it anymore. I try to do it. Plus, the other thing is the wife got a little upset.
What do you mean, wife?
She got a little upset because I went.
Edit this part. Send
No,
it
it's
to
fine.
her.
It's fine. It's fine. I love to fuck with her. It's all good. But I used to go into. My friends love to hear the story because when I got into Wim Hof is like when I was, and it would be snowing outside, like a nice, what do you call it, flurry, nice flurry,
Yeah.
maybe a half inch on the ground, and I go outside in my boxers and start doing like a kata and a horse stance. And my wife is like, "What are you doing? Do you understand the neighbors can see you?" And I was like, and just doing all this stuff. And I'd come back and I feel like a superhero. She's like, "You gotta stop! Like we have kids. What are you doing?" And then at one point,
You should have just brought the kids with you and then be
I
like,
went
now
over-
what's your excuse?
Yeah, I went over. I tried. My kids are all into it because once again, they're out of the box. Like they know that's right. I went into the fucking river across the street in a full fucking ice storm, and people started running out like they. What is? And I didn't know what to say. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm ice train. So I was like, I'm doing the polar bear challenge. And I'm just getting myself ready. And they're like, oh, okay. Because they all came out like they were like, what is he doing? Like what the fuck?
You should have just started chanting.
Yeah, no. I mean, at this point maybe, but then no.
Yeah, you should have just started chanting. They would have been like, what in, yo, the neighbor is fucked.
Yeah. And then I went to my other friend has a river in his house, in the back of his house. And I had to actually break through ice because they're all like, we smoked a little bit that day. And my one friend was kind of bragging, like, dude, this is telling the story. This kid fucking likes to go in the freezing cold water. It was starting to snow. We're all high as hell. And this guy's got where I live, there's a creek. This guy has a fucking river, right?
Mm-hmm. And there was ice on top?
Yeah, there's like an inch of ice, right? And he's like, so now he's fucking talking me up. He's talking me up like, oh, this guy does this, and he could breathe, and I've seen him fucking. I'm like, oh, man, stop, man. And there's a bunch of guys there, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to do this now. So they're like, so I strip down into my underwear. I walk through the snow. Like I had to walk a good 50 yards, which probably was the worst part. Barefoot through the snow in my underwear. Boom, boom, boom. Get down. I find a doc who's not on his property. It's like 2 fucking properties down where there's a dock. So I'm like, dude, I don't have fucking shoes on. This is a nasty river. I'm not going to say the name because I don't want people to find out where it is. But it's not a river that you go swimming in.
Right.
It's a river in New Jersey where, like, you're going to get tetanus. So I'm like, I don't know, man.
Not in the cold like that.
Yeah, right? That's what I was thinking. So I'm like, so I go down to the dock. I'm sitting there, and I get into a meditative state. And I start thinking about what I'm going to do. Blah, blah, blah. I breathe a couple times. And I fucking crack through the ice. And I sit there. And I'm sitting there, and they're timing me. And I'm like, yo, stop talking to me. And I'm just listening and breathing. And the same thing happened. Every neighbor comes out. What's going on? This guy trying to kill himself? What the fuck? And they're like, I told them. I said, if anyone fucking just say I'm training for the polar bear challenge. And they did it, and it worked. And everyone went back in their house. But actually, a couple guys came out to just see if I could do it. And once again, it was an ego thing. It really, for the first 10 seconds, it got me to the place. Because it will get you. It'll get you to that place. Get to that oneness.
Place.
It's just that oneness where you're, wow. Like, you know, when you hit
you
it.
become part of the New World Order when you get really cold.
That's where it's up is down. Yeah, you get a check instantly from George Soros into your account.
You start throwing bricks.
Bro, you get that $600 bump in unemployment right now. If you hit the oneness.
I don't know what unemployment is.
But if so, right now, if you're on unemployment in America, United States, you get $600 from the federal government. If you hit oneness, this is a joke. If you hit oneness, George Soros just wires you $1,000 every fucking couple minutes.
Sick.
Every 2 minutes, I think he wires $1,000 into your account.
$250 for every brick you throw.
Yeah, I think right now you're getting $500 a brick.
Per brick? Can't be.
Yeah.
Has to be per night.
I got denied. Allegedly.
Has to be per night of bricking.
It's a joke. But there are applications out there on Craigslist. If you guys are out of work and unemployment's not working,
I know.
I believe he's hiring.
Should be looking just to see.
Dude, bro, if you drive a dirt bike through a fucking state building, he's gonna give you at least $1,000.
I'd jump a fucking ramp for $1,000. I'd definitely drive through a building.
No, but he wants you to go through into the state house.
That's
like you gotta
fine.
be like Molotov cocktails. Like you release them as you get through. Like you gotta go through the windows. Drop the Molotov cocktails. And just bam.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Do I have a floor plan? Does he provide me with a floor plan?
I mean, he owns every floor plan, so I'm sure you're good.
As long as he can provide me
If
with
he's gonna
it.
give you $1,000, tell him, listen, give me $850. I just want the floor plan.
No.
He'll hook that.
No.
up. He'll hook
$1,200 plus floor plan.
that. Yeah, that's why I'm not the negotiator.
It's about standard.
We have lawyers for that.
It's about standard pay for upright riding.
Yeah.
If I don't have to do a backflip, then that's it. If I got a backflip, it's $2,500. If I get a backflip so that the Molotov cocktails drop out of my harness while I'm upside down, it's extra.
Trying to reel it back to which I know we're gonna end soon. I don't even get to all my points.
Yeah, you're already over an hour. You're an hour and 10 minutes, 8 minutes right now.
I want to talk about a couple other points. Just we have a lot of other things we're gonna talk about, but back to just the human out the box. We're not gonna get to Baphomet today. I'm sorry, guys. That'll be episode 2. But sleeping, circadian rhythm.
Yep, and
Right?
eating.
Well, we said eating, fasting, and all that. I feel like
Also it goes along with your circadian rhythm.
yeah, we have no idea, right? So like, imagine you open the booklet. It's like, oh, Clint, you are A, B, blah blah blah, negative. You need to eat at this time. You sleep at this time. You sleep for 3 hours. You wake up, bro. You be Superman. You be Superman. We all would be, and like we're all trying to figure it out. We're like, oh man, I eat a fucking cheesecake and I want to die. I eat a piece of pizza. I eat this. We all are trying to figure it out, and inside we probably know. But circadian rhythms, big thing. When do we sleep? Like the Kundalini people, they wake up at like 3 in the morning.
Kundalini rice.
Kundalini, okay. They'll wake up at like 2, 3 in the morning, do their poses, go back to bed. Like they don't sleep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't sleep the way we sleep.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, but those people have DMT trips every day without
yeah?
smoking DMT.
All right, maybe I'll think about it.
Yeah, so like, don't discredit that. And they could be wrong too. They could be fucking possessed by demons. If
That
you
was very
talk
not
to fucking
free
what's his
thinking.
name? You talk to Joel Osteen. I mean, they're devil worshippers. but hey,
Sound like fun people.
yeah. Pray the gay away. But
Pray it away or suck it away. I thought they were sucking it away.
yeah, I think I did say that earlier. But yeah. Okay, here's another one because I know we're over an hour. Here's another one. Remember when we were kids? If you took acid, if you took mushrooms, you took ecstasy, you smoked weed, you're going to fry your brain, man. Now in 2020, are you depressed?
Yeah.
We're going to give you some acid.
Or ecstasy.
Ecstasy or whatever. And that's cool. And I'm not knocking that. But it's like, okay. And let's get another really quick one. Remember when we were kids? Fat free. Eat Twizzlers. Dude, I was a fat ass motherfucker as a kid because I ate mad Twizzlers. I didn't eat the fucking chocolate. I should have ate the chocolate. I ate the fucking Twizzlers and the gummy bears.
Yeah, for sure. No,
it's
that's
fat free.
Yeah, and the pyramid.
Yeah.
The food
Eat
pyramid's
the bread.
a fucking joke.
Don't eat the cheese.
Yeah,
like, all this
exactly.
shit.
They're like, you need to eat bread with every meal. And it's obvious that the restaurants still subscribe to that, right? Because you get a cheeseburger with fries, and then they give you like some other kind of carb with it.
Sugars.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why isn't it like a vegetable?
Bro,
and
it's
a
enough
carb
like for the
and a
week.
meat.
One meal in America is enough for the week.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. What's up is what's down. Thank you, Sam Tripoli. That's so true, and I love that. And that's been my message for a long time. Not described that way, but it's just like, fuck everything they tell you. If they tell you something, if they tell you to wear a mask, think about not wearing a mask.
Yeah. Why it's better not to.
And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. Like, if you have someone old at home and you got to protect them, protect them. I don't know shit about this disease. I just know that a lot of things have been taken away from us in New Jersey here. That doesn't really make sense. I'm not a scientist. I don't know. But all I know is that if they tell me to go right, I'm going to look left first. And then I might go right. But I'm going to always go left first. If they're going to tell me to go right, I'm always going to go left first and then work my way back. And that's all I ask. Anyone listen to this podcast, whether you like what I'm saying or you don't, just question everything. There was a guy named Timothy Leary, and he used to say, think for yourself, question authority. You know, it's fucked up. I love that man. I read all of his books. And now I got to start questioning him because apparently he worked for the CIA. But you know what? It doesn't matter because you could take a little bit of the message because there's always some truth, which is always think for yourself. Take even what Timothy Leary said. Think for yourself. Question authority. Even question him. And that was one of my prophets. That was one of the guys that I really, really trusted growing up. And now I'm questioning him as well. So that's episode 1, man, of the Free Thinker Society. Clint, thank you so much for helping me out and getting this thing off the ground, because it's been a while in the making, and I've been a little bitch about it. And hopefully you like, subscribe, leave a review. Clint, where can everyone find you?
I'm Clint Esposito on pretty much everything. Twitter, Instagram, all that, just my name. And if you happen to be into dirt bikes, I got a website, Two Wheels of Freedom, and a podcast. Also, all of our podcasts are on freethinker.tv. So that's the Two Wheels of Freedom, Free Thinkers with Mike Romanelli, and the Clint Files.
No carnival parking.
Now. And no carnival parking, sorry.
Yeah, no carnival parking. We go off the rails. We have a lot of fun. We touch on everything. Clint Files, awesome podcast, guys.
Some of what you talked about, the fraud of the food pyramid and stuff like that, it's more so like health and rehabilitation. For people that don't know, I did freestyle motocross for 16 years, had a bunch of injuries, and basically I learned how to rehab stuff, and also got like a skeptical view of the healthcare system a little bit. You know, it's a business like everything else. So basically that's the stuff that we're going to get into on that one. More free thinking.
Last thing I want to say, guys, you can follow me on Instagram at RealJudenbug. That's my Instagram. Also, anybody out here that does not know of my man Sam Tripoli, we got to free him. Sam Tripoli has been deplatformed from Twitter. Free my man Sam Tripoli. Thank you for everything that he's done. And check out, we're also on Broken Simulation. So check out his website, Broken Simulation. He's got a lot of free thinkers on there. Thank you so much, everyone.